Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Global Talent Visa Surgery. It's so good to see everyone. Hi. Welcome on board. Sorry, we're just fixing some technical issues as usual, even though we have an engineer here. Hmm. Hello. Welcome, everyone. It's our Global Talent Visa Surgery today. And we're so excited to be here with our wonderful guests. We are live on YouTube, we're live on Instagram, and we are live on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. My name is Yemisi Adedeji, if you're just joining us, and we've got engineer Oduwa. Let me cut it short, because even me, I don't want to, wonderfully not call it rightly. Well, yeah, we've got a wonderful engineer here today, and she's going to be telling us all about her global talent visa, how she got it, how she got to where she is today. So it's so exciting. I'm really so excited because I know I've had, a lot of engineers ask me a lot of questions about this. So please let us know where you're joining us from. We are so excited that we are live today. So we're just going to wait up for, a few people to join us and then we can kick start. So yeah, my name is Yemisi Adedeji and this is my YouTube channel. I'm sure some of you know me already, and I am a global talent visa recipient myself, and I got endorsed by Royal Society. If you heard my story, I'm sure you know. Hello, whoever is joining us, please let us know where you're joining us from. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, wherever you're joining us from, let us know. It's good to have you here. So yeah, I was endorsed by the Royal Society under the research and academia category of the Global Talent Visa. We've had quite a few guests come on board here, to talk to us about their Global Talent Visa. And we're so excited to be hosting an engineer. The last Global Talent Visa surgery, we had Kafi, who was, endorsed by um, the fashion designer Roots, which is at Council England. And then the digital technology, we have that's a different category as well. Then we had Busayo Ajala, who was also, endorsed under the academia and research category. And he actually studied economics. So yeah, that's the Global Talent Visa is for everyone. As long as you can meet the criteria, you can be endorsed by any of the endorsing bodies. So please let us know where you're joining us from. Usually we use, the first 10 minutes to just settle in and, say hello to everyone. We've got our guest here and she's ready to answer all your questions and she's ready to share her story as well. So if you're an engineer, please tell an engineer to tell another engineer to come and hear everything Global Talent Visa. I know there are a couple of people that, I know that are currently getting their applications ready. And so it would be nice to, just hear quite a number of questions from people who are there. So let's know where you're joining us from. Welcome on board, everyone. So yeah, welcome if you're just joining us. Thank you so much. Today we're talking everything Global Talent Visa under the engineering roots. Everyone engineer, all these she engineer, he engineer, every everything engineering. So please let's know where you're joining us from so that we can start. We're just, by 7:10, we will be, kicking off. Our guest is here. Thank you, Samuel is joining us from Instagram. Hi, Samuel. And yeah, we're live on Facebook as well. So welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome. Let's know where you're joining us from. Thank you. Let's know live from Nigeria. Hi, Samuel. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel. So we're just by 7:10 we're gonna kickstart. So this session is always for us to, for our guests to tell us their story, how they got how they got their evidences. Hi from Scotland. Hi, wow, chartered engineer CENG under IMEC from the UK. Hello, hello, hello. You have a colleague here. She's smiling already because you are recognizing each other. So please let us know where you're joining us from. If you're joining us on Instagram, if you're joining us on Facebook, thank you so much. My name is MEC Adedeji, and I am hosting the Global Talent Visa Surgery just for us, to rub minds together, for our guests to share their experiences, and also for you to be able to ask them all your questions about the Global Talent Visa. And today we've got a successful, recipient of the Global Talent Visa who was endorsed as an engineer under, the research and academia category. And she's going to tell us all about her journey today. So start getting ready your questions if you have any, because she is ready in the next 2 minutes. Please share this live, like this live, so YouTube can recommend it to other people. And if you've not subscribed, please turn on the subscribe button if you're watching from YouTube. This is my channel. My name is Yemzi Adedeji. I've made quite a number of videos about the Global Talent Visa if you're new here. So we might not cover everything, but at least we'll start with, a bit of the foundation, and then we will be focusing on engineering today, just so that, we can make the best use of this time. So we've got 1 more minute. So please share this live, like it, and let us know where you're joining us from. Thank you so much. If you're joining us on YouTube, if you're joining us on Instagram, tell us where you're joining us from. Tell us. Let's know who you are. I'm sure there are lots of engineers here today. And I'm so excited that I'm going to officially be an engineer. So today, as Madam Oduwa has her engineering cap on, I also have my, endorsed engineering. For tonight, I'm an engineer. I hope I'm allowed. All right, so please share this live, like it, and share to as many people as you can. Let everyone come and hear about the Global Talent Visa through the engineering route. So yes, Madam Oduwa, it's 7:10 and we're going to kickstart. Welcome, welcome everyone. Let us know where you're joining us from. She's going to be telling us about her journey, about her story, about how she got her own Global Talent Visa, and then we will let everyone ask their questions. So you have the floor, ma.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Depends on the part of the country or the globe that you are in. Good afternoon, good night. So my name is Oduwa Agboneni. I'm a mechanical engineer as well as an automotive engineer and an engineering project manager. I started my journey. I have over 10 years experience in the engineering space. And although I'm in the UK, and I was actually in the UK before I applied for the Global Talent Visa, I came in as a student, and during the course of doing my master's in automotive engineering with electric vehicles, I started researching, so what is the next plan of action? What kind of visa should I be in? And one thing that worked out for me early was that I put up my CV on different platforms, and I began to receive calls on, there's some job application, because what we have actually done in Nigeria, we have done so well in Nigeria. We have so much experience in Nigeria that is needed in this country. But most especially we as engineers, we do not realize this, that we can actually make a difference in the global space. So I put on my CV, and I started receiving calls for the issue like, oh, what kind of visa are you in? Immediately you tell them, they're so sorry, we do not offer sponsorship, we do not offer sponsorship. So that was it for me. That was, I came in September 2022, and this happened like April, May last year, you know. I was still doing my master's and having calls like that, and they're not telling me that, oh, no sponsorship. For some, had even done my first stage interview. For engineering, you have to do like 3 stages interview. I don't know why. That's another topic for discussion. 3-stage interviews and all that. So like second stage, you will not hear from them. They will not tell you because of your visa status. I started researching. I did my research on what kind of visa. That was where I came across the Global Talent visa route. I looked at it. This Global Talent visa route is actually three major channels. You can either get it through the digital technology, through the art space, or through academia and research. For me, academia and research was for engineering, was for science, social sciences, and I liked that particular route. I don't have anything to do with arts. I've been in the engineering space all my life, so no need. I don't have anything to do with digital technology. I don't even know how to code. Most of the time they will say coding, they will say, so I was not interested. I've never worked in the tech industry, like, because even with a global talent visa, if you are not a tech person, but you have worked in that business as someone that's like, okay, maybe like even if you are in the accounting space or you are in the fintech space, you can actually get the global talent visa. You do not have to be like the tech person that does the coding, that does the software and all that. So I looked at it, that was not for me. So the best route I can go through is through the engineering. And engineering, you have to be endorsed by the Royal Academy of Engineering. For you to be endorsed by the Royal Academy of Engineering, there you have 4 different routes. Route 1 is either you have academia or research. Route 2 is the route 1 is you have an eligible grant or thereabout. Please let me confirm. Let me just let us know the different routes as it is. Okay, route 1 is you have, like I said, you have a job offer in the academia or in the research industry. With that, it implies that that's your job offer. The organizations here in the UK that would have given you an appointment. And it also comes with its do's and don'ts. Then 2, you have an eligible award. 3, you have received an award from UK ROI, that's the UK innovation body. Or 4, peer review. Peer review, you are showing us what you have done based on you as an individual. So I don't know if you want me to go through the different routes and what's expected, or I should just go straight to my own route.
Yeah, let's go straight to yours. So if you want to know more about that, there's loads of information on my channel about the different routes. Okay. So let's focus on yours so that, you know, we can give people,
okay, so
you know, time to ask questions as well.
Okay, so considering what I had at the moment, I fell under the peer review because, fine, I didn't have an eligible award by UKRI, although I'm a multiple grant award winner. I've won series of grants. I've even won grants from the Royal Academy of Engineering, but those grants, they do not qualify under fellowship, neither do they qualify under UKRI. So it was not for me. I just had to do like a standalone for my peer review. That was the route I used. And so for using that, you need to come up with a very strong CV. You need to be intentional with your CV. So with your CV, you need to state all what you have done in the past. You need to laud it. We see a lot of disciplines, they laud what they have done, but we engineers, we are so, you know, we are so laid back. We are not ready for the show. We are not ready at all. Just allow us do the engineering work. We're not interested in even keeping the evidence. Your CV, you have to state everything you have done. You need a CV, you need a recommendation letter. The beautiful thing about you being endorsed by the Royal Academy of Engineering is that You can be endorsed as an exceptional promise or an exceptional leader. But in 3 years, even as an exceptional promise, you can get your ILR. That's the beautiful thing about it. I was not ready to take too much chances because one of the criteria mandatory is that you must have a PhD. Till tomorrow, I do not have a PhD. I do not have a PhD. So because of that clause, so you have to look at what you have, the evidences you have, and you look at the route that will be best for you. So for me, because I know that, I can as well come up with a lot of things, but I do not have a PhD. So I was not ready to even first and foremost apply. Then they will not tell you it's been rejected, come and do your second application. No, I just went in for exceptional promise, knowing that in 3 years, we'll still be in the same place. So there was no
Wow.
need.
So even with your experience, you did not go for exceptional talent.
No, I was not ready to waste my time. I was not, because the truth about it is that I've had a lot of things that I could use for being an exceptional talent. I had 2 recommendation letters. Whereas for you being an exceptional promise, you need only 1 recommendation letter. I put my 2 recommendation letters. I just put it there. It was a conversation, and this is the point where I tell people that don't be afraid, don't be scared. I submitted my CV, I submitted my recommendation letter, my personal statement. I got a mail from the Home Office that Ray Academy has told them to contact me, that I actually need to have a PhD. I told them, I said, based on your criteria, you said either a PhD or a clinical experience in an institute, in a research institute, or a business. I run a business in Nigeria. I started that business in 2015. It's an automotive service center. And what have I been doing there? I've been researching. For you to repair a vehicle, a lot of troubleshooting goes into it. So you need to know how to tell your story. You need to know how to sell yourself. If you want to apply as a talent, you have to be a talent by even knowing how to tell your story. So I was able to bring all that out, that I'm not portraying myself as like someone that has a PhD. I'm portraying myself as someone that's been doing research in the industry. They looked at it, they saw my response, they said, okay, forward evidences. What did I do with my evidence? For engineering, they will not give you a guide. Unlike in art or in digital technology, that they will tell you, bring evidences of these articles, bring that or bring that. They just sent me a mail, forward your evidence. But I came up with my own structured checklist on the evidences that I would have to show them. One was my link with professional bodies. While I was in Nigeria, I was a member, not just a member, active member. So this is for people that are still in Nigeria or in their countries. Be an active member of your professional bodies. I was a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I was a very, very solid members of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineering, Association of Professional Women Engineers, Automotive and Locomotive Engineers Institute. I was a member, and not just a member, I was a strong member. I did not know that these things will pay off someday. I never knew. At some point before I came, I was the brand ambassador for Apple. So it paid out at the end of the day to put this in my CV.
Wow.
So that was a strong point for me. Secondly, as a member of even these bodies, what I also did was to even present during their conferences. Because I was in the business space, so this goes to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, identify professional bodies that you can showcase your products, you can showcase your services. Try to even publish in their articles, normal conferences. I presented for Koren, and I never knew. I had to now go back, I now had to go back, like, for evidences of, media publication. I went back to my publication when I presented for Koren, the invitation letter, the commendation letter they gave to me, I put it there. In fact, I was tired of showing showing Home Office evidences, because I had to sit down to start preparing, planning every evidence I've had in the past. I brought them out. Presentations I did in other bodies, I had them. Funny enough, before now, I have always won grants. And with the grants, and for about 2 or 3 years, I was always coming to the UK for presentation. Funny enough, the presentation was even for the Royal Academy of Engineering. But those ones, they don't matter. Because if it had mattered, when I submitted my application, they will not tell Home Office that, tell her to bring evidence. So it's straightforward, but to an extent, it helps. So, with your recommendation letter, you need to show a link with someone that is recognized in the UK that knows your worth. Over the years, because of my strong membership in these engineering bodies, I was able to build international network. While I was still in Nigeria, I organized programs that I would even invite them to come and speak online. I never knew it was preparing me for Global Talent Visa. I never knew. So with that, when it was time to apply for this, I need a recommendation letter. I just wrote to them. I wrote even to my university. I wrote to my supervisor. My supervisor was ready to give me a recommendation letter. So for those of us that are still in school, you can actually get from your school. I got 2 recommendation letters. When I submitted initially, it was only one I submitted. It was at the point they were not like, okay, evidence of my PhD, that I told them that, no, I'm not standing based on that. So you need to know what you want, and you need to be able to tell them that this is what is written. At that point, I just included the second recommendation letter. I said, I have all these things. Do you know that at the end of the day, when they got back to me, they forwarded me what Royal Academy has written, and they were like, the endorsing body, they've asked us. What did they say? They said that, in what category do I want to be endorsed? Because I was able to bring in evidence for automotive. I was able to bring in evidence for project management, based on what I've done. I looked at all the categories. You have a lot of categories that you can be endorsed for engineering. I went to special discipline. That was what I picked. Special discipline is for emerging technologies or disciplines. And under it, you have engineering project management. I told them, I said, I would like to be endorsed under the special disciplines. Why did I do that? I want a situation whereby I would not be boxed to a particular corner when I'm not looking at, maybe I need to now enter into the UK industry. So where do I fit in? So me being an engineering project manager, I can actually do engineering project management in any engineering field. So I was able to get in as an engineering project manager, and that was how I got endorsed.
Wow. This one is from rejection to acceptance.
No, because I didn't even wait to be, I didn't wait to be rejected. I was never rejected by the body, but just, companies here rejecting me, like, we cannot give you this, we cannot give you that. No, I just had to do this. And let me tell you, most especially for so many people that are in the UK, they are in a kind of visa that they don't like. Do not regret. Take it as a waiting time. When a woman is pregnant, you need to wait until you carry that pregnancy till it's full term. At that particular point in time, what you are doing matters a lot. So when I was in the kind of visa I did not like, what was I doing? I was taking certifications. I did certifications beyond doing my master's. I came in 2022, September. I finished my master's in December. I applied for this visa January 1st this year. I said this thing. But it took me 6 months from that April to put everything together. Even when the articles, I looked at it, I said, I need to be really, really strong on articles. I had to even write some more articles, and I published them on ResearchGate. I wrote an article. I wrote about 3 or 4 additional articles. So beyond what I had in the past, like my conference proceedings, a book I wrote, I had to also write recent publications. So you can start doing that. Give yourself 6 months. Don't be in a
Mm,
rush that, oh, you have listened to Oduwa speaking today and you don't have most of the things that she has, so you cannot go for it.
mm,
You can. Sit down based on what she has said. How can you do this? Start ticking the box. I like that we're at the end of the year. This is December. We are working towards the new year. Come up with your goals. If one of your
mm,
goals is to have a global talent visa by next year, just re-strategize. This is all I want to do in
mm,
January. I should be able to release an article. Do you know that for next year, I already have a plan on conferences I want to attend, even in the UK here?
mm,
Conferences that I would like to attend because I need to stay relevant.
mm,
You really need to stay relevant. You really need to be able to sell yourself in this country. If you have the right visas and you know what you are doing, there's no
mm,
limit you cannot get to. I'm at the
mm,
point in the UK that I now send rejection letters to employers. I send from I send rejection letters to employers. I can just sit down and, oh, I want to go for this interview. I want to do this, do that. At the end of the day, I'm at that point. Me coming in as even working in the automotive industry, I have the automotive experience and all that. Presently, I'm in the semiconductor industry. How did I
mm,
get there? Because as engineering project management, I can switch. I chose
mm,
semiconductor because they own offer lovely, better. We know what
mm,
it takes compared to all the other industries. You just play around it. Tomorrow I can decide to go to another industry. I'm selling myself as I'm doing this. I'm also building my brand. I'm also looking at how I can represent my company in Nigeria, here in the UK.
mm,
So that's what you need to do. Just work towards it. This is December. What are your goals for next year? How many articles do you want? Even if it is to even write a funding, there are a lot of grants you can write. A lot. Don't take it. There are multiple grants winners. It's just us sitting down to write. There's nothing special. There's nothing special.
mm.
Thank you.
Wow, wow. Can you tell us about, when you got that reply from Home Office and that you needed a PhD? How long did it take you to respond back to them? Did they give you a timeline for you to respond?
Okay, I responded immediately. When I received the mail, I responded immediately. So then I said, okay, I need to send in my evidence of my equivalent research experience in the industry. So, and I think they gave me about, it was up to, I think it was more than 10 days. It was more than 10 days. But before then, I'd already started documenting everything. So, and what I also did was to come up with a checklist. There was a way I documented every of my projects and my impact. So, for every project, I came up with, let me see. Okay, this is my evidence documented. So even projects are done like capacity building projects, research and advocacy. I came up with like a project overview, the background and the research basis. I had to be strong about it. Normal. Like for example, there was this project I did, Girls Auto Squad, an initiative rooted in research and advocacy. So
Mm,
what I did, I had to bring out the background and the research basis. And when I said extensive research indicated a significant gender gap in the automotive industry. So you see, at every point in time, whatever you are writing, because you are going under the road of engineering, you are looking at academia, always tell the story in terms of research. I came up with background and research. I had project goals and objectives, my role and contributions. The beautiful thing is that you can just be a contributor. You must not
mm,
be the one that got the grants. So you need to
mm,
volunteer. If you've not started volunteering, volunteer, please volunteer. Then I had another heading, impact and outcomes, evidence to support the project. So my evidence to support the project, what I did was to include pictures, that we had during the program. So that was the different headings I used to represent every project I have done in the past. Most of the time, we go out to support programs. If you're able to tie it to one of the sustainable development goals, you are good to go. For engineering, look for how you will tie it. Any voluntary thing that you have done, look for how you will tie it. If you have not been volunteering, please use this time to start volunteering. Please use it. You can volunteer for agricultural product, volunteer for gender gap, volunteer for poverty. Just look for one that suits you and go into it.
Wow.
Don't be in a hurry. Give yourself some time.
Wow, that's so good. So don't be in a hurry, give yourself some time. So the disciplines now, because I know, the Royal Academy of Engineering, it's so broad. Everything engineering is there. And you said that you were able to pick as an innovative something. So yeah, the questions are coming in. Thank you so much. Hi Martha, welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, my name is Yemisi Adedeji, and we've got Oduwa, our guest today, giving it all to us, back to back, global talent visa, how you can navigate global talent visa as an engineer. And so yeah, like this video, share it with someone. Anywhere at all in the world that you're in, you can move to the UK with, the global talent visa. So, you talked about your discipline, and then they came back to ask you. So after you submitted, which means that you submitted your evidences as equivalent research, because that's the class they always pick people on. Because the academia and research, people always ask, am I supposed to have a PhD? It is mandatory. That's what that's by the books. But they now say, even by that criteria, equivalent, if you have equivalent experience or research experience. But I think the problem most people have is, how do I prove that equivalent? Before we come to that, I want you to touch on the disciplines, because I know there are lots of engineers here. How do people decide disciplines and all of that? Thank you.
Okay, if you visit the uk.gov page, there's actually a list of approved research disciplines. Even through the Royal Academy of Engineering page, you will see it. But let me just list it out for you. You have aerospace, you have biomedical and medical, you have civil, you have computing and communications, you have chemical and process, you have electrical and electronic, you have energy and power, you have innovation and policy, you have materials and mining, you have special. So that's the engineering route that I picked, including emerging or multidisciplinary areas of engineering. Under that, you have things like quantum computing, agricultural engineering, engineering project management, even leadership or management of engineering business. So, when they saw mine, the evidences I provided fell into different categories. So that's the reason why they got back to me to ask me. So I really wanted to remain broad. I really wanted to fit into different things. So that's the reason why I went for this. Because you see, under this special, I could have even used leadership or management of engineering business. Considering I have a business, existing business, I would have used that. But I chose to go for engineering project management. Then we also have machine learning, regenerative medicine, or engineering under that route, and robotics. Another one we have, which I would have also used, is transport and mechanical, considering I'm a mechanical engineer as well as an automotive engineer. So I would have been able to use that route. Under the transport and mechanical, we have acoustics and vibrations, we have automotive, you have mechatronics, you have transportation. So it's really, really broad. It's really, really broad. Under the energy and power, you have energy conservation. Then even under civil, I remember during the last guys show with you, somebody asked a question about waste management. And I said, even for engineers, yes, under civil. So even waste management, sustainability, you can get it. There are a lot of things we can do under waste management, a lot. I have even done projects under turning automotive waste into useful purpose. So,
Wow.
which if I had also used that route, it would have been wow. I have included it amongst the things I've done as one of my projects. So it was, I think it, I would say it was a difficult one for them to look at it and say, where does she fit in? And secondly, even with all these things, if I had even said, let me just go for a sessional talent, I would have leader, I would have gotten it. But I wasn't ready to just stress. I wasn't ready to just stress myself. And because I have been in another type of visa, and you can actually combine. You can combine, if you've been in another type of skilled worker visa, you can combine it with another visa. So I, in my own story, this is me. I was really, really strategic. I was not ready to do the graduate visa route. I was not ready. This is me. Another person can prefer to use that route. But for me, Oduwa, I was not ready to do that. And while I was doing my master's, I go to school Mondays to Fridays, engineering. This is what they do to us. Mondays to Fridays. Then in the mornings, we receive lectures. In the afternoons, we will do seminars. So there was no time for me to even work in an automotive workshop, which I would have gladly jumped into. The best one for me at that time was working in the healthcare sector. This is me. I did not look at it that, Oduwa, you're an engineer. You know, so many people, they will say, oh, you do this, you do that. I said, no. I took my 20 hours with them. And you know what? 3 months into me working with them, they just approached me. The manager was like, oh, sir, do you mind if we give you a sponsorship? Huh? 3 months into it, I said, yes, please give it to me. So as at February 2023, I was already in the skilled worker route. You understand? So why will I now want to even bother myself to do 5 years when I know that all I need is 2 years? I already have 1 year. So I am not ready to waste my money or
Love
anything.
it.
But I just went ahead to pay for 3 years. But I know that immediately by 3 years, I do 2 years in my global talent visa, I start working towards my ILR. So that's it. If you are
Wow.
here, and another thing is, if I were to still be in Nigeria, maybe I would not have come with a student route. I would have done the global talent because
Straight
while
away.
I was in Nigeria, everything I already had everything. So these are two things, you know, you need to look at. Why am I saying this? Your own situation is unique. Look at what you have at the moment. Are you still in Nigeria? Okay, these are the things you need. If you are here, you're in another type of visa that you don't like, please start looking at how you will convert. You understand? Start looking at all the evidences. Okay, someone says he's chartered from under IMEC. That's good. Even me, now I'm a member of, I've been a member of IMEC since I was in Nigeria. So while I was in Nigeria, I was even the publicity relations officer for IMEC Nigeria. So you see, all these things, they matter. They matter a lot. They build up. They build up.
Wow, awesome. So all these things, it matters. So there's a link that I've just put there. That's the link that has all the disciplines that, Oduwa was talking about. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, we've been talking everything global talent engineering. You can see I'm just quiet. I'm excited because Oduwa was so, she was strategic. She was not ready to waste time. I'm sure you must have watched my video about how I got my own ILR as well. So with global talent visa, you can combine with your skilled worker. That's for those already in the UK. But if you are not in the UK, all you need is evidence. Everyone gets this, this email of you don't have a PhD. How do you respond? You need to, if you miss that part, you need to watch this video again and again and again to know how to respond. So thank you so much for, joining us today. We've got Oduwa in the building and she's been real with us, like really, really, really. I can see, we can see from all the comments, She's talked about her own route. So we'll start taking the questions. So if you have any questions for Oduwa, please start getting them in. I love the fact that, she was just real with us, like really, really, really. So if you want this visa, you need to give yourself some time. She, took 6 months. So if you've been putting questions down, I have been seeing them, and we are going to be heading straight to questions now. So please like this video, share it so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. And if you know an engineer that is either in the UK, outside the UK, somewhere in the world, tell them that Oduwa got it. She has the key. She has just unlocked it for us all this evening. So thank you so much, Oduwa. So we've been having some questions coming, and yeah, I'm just going to be flashing them on the screen right now. So this is question from Hi Yemi. Yemi said, what is the minimum recommendation letter from exceptional talent? I think if you're new, I think most of the people that know about this route now, you should know exceptional promise is for people that have experience between 1 to 5 years, and exceptional talent is people that have experience above 5 years. Even though Oduwa had experience, more than 10 years, she said it like, don't just waste it. And that's why I always tell people when I do consultations with you, I tell them, see, step it down. We know you have this thing, but step it down, because the way they will come at you, you will not expect it. So you are better off, just giving the evidence you can. It's not about the years of experience. It's about what can you provide. So what is the minimum recommendation letter for exceptional talent?
Okay, you want me to go ahead now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
yes.
so for exceptional talent, it's 2, but for promise is 1.
Yes.
You need 1, yes. Talent, you need 2. Promise, you need 1. So that's just, but that your letter, like I always say, you have to be strategic. It's better you sit down, make sure it's been written by you, because you can tell your story. Secondly, ensure that you write how the relationship between you and the person, so you can do the draft. Like in my own case, the people are too busy. They just told me, please, do the draft, let's go through it. And I did the draft and set it. The other one, because she's a professor, she had to even take her time, added some stuff that we have done together, which I did not even remember. She put it in. So, it was really, really very good. And let me tell you people another thing I did. So you can never tell which would work out for you, but as much as possible, try to do all. So while working with my health and care visa, my 20 hours, I used it to work as an associate lecturer with a university. So I was supervising master students projects. So please take notes. I was supervising master students.
You didn't have a PhD.
I didn't have a PhD.
It's based on experience.
But let me tell you, you need experience, and let me tell you the truth. The right network. If you've not been networking, you need to network, because there are some things you will struggle to get. But if you have the right network, the way they can even do it in Nigeria, that they'll just tell you that this big man's son, we just take it. You'll be waiting to get the job. This big man's son will just come to the office and said, my father, just present it and you will get the job. That is what you get when you network with the right people, most especially in professional bodies. So they can talk on your behalf. They know your worth. It is somebody that knows my worth that just called me and said, there's this opening in my university. Would you like it? I said, yes, fine. And you can imagine that kind of a person now giving me a recommendation letter. You can imagine, I used that type of a person. I did not even remember to write it. So they put it. She had to even add that, so all those things, they count. Even if whatever visa, use your 20 hours to start doing some engineering jobs. You know why? This country, they will tell you that, what is your UK experience?
Mm.
You can get a good job. What is your UK experience? So start using that your 2020 hours to gather your UK experience.
Wow, you just explained my next video. Like, I have a video that is publishing next week, and it's everything, you know, letter of recommendation, starting from your CV, and that's just the way to go. Your CV, before you can get your recommendation letter done, make sure you get your CV ready and your personal statement. So those two documents, they all connect for your application. They all kinds of they just all connect. All right. How do you prove your evidences, ma? From Yemi O.
Okay, so Yemi, you know, like I told you that I read, let me see. Okay, fine. I arranged every of my evidences. I had a Google Drive. So it was the link I even sent to them. Not like I gathered a lot of things. It was the link I sent to them. So like my evidence, let me see if I can even see another one. Hold on. I told you about a document. What I did, first and foremost, identify what you have as your evidence. One, I had organized an innovation challenge in Nigeria. I organized an innovation challenge. I got a funding. So with that funding, I collaborated with the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. That's one of the funding I got from the Royal Academy of Engineering. So that is a very, very strong evidence for me. I came up to say, this is my role and contributions. One, strategic leadership, mentorship and supervision, organizational excellence. Another heading I had was research experience and output, innovative solutions. For example, the project facilitated the development of innovative solutions addressing key sectors. I listed out the impacts. So what did I have to show as my evidence that I did this program? I had the flyers. I had pictures of the event. You understand? So with project documentation, my project documentation had a detailed report highlighting the objectives, methodologies, outcomes, and impact of the project. So it included the project plans, progress reports, and final evaluation. So I had that. Then my media coverage. So a collection of newspaper articles. Most times we do events. Call newspaper people, let them even come and see. I never knew these things. I had this program in 2017,
Wow.
2019, 2018, 2017, 18, 19, 20, even till 2021. I was a grant recipient for the Royal Academy of Engineering for this project, and I had everything. You can imagine for them, I also had to submit my evidences to be able to get endorsements. So I had my press releases that provided external validation of the project success and its impact on the engineering community. So with my photographic evidence was like a curated selection of photographs from the project events, including the workshops I had, symposiums, and the final competitions. So I had all that. Another project I did, let me think of another project. I've talked about the girls project I did. So there was even another one I did on policy, but my evidence were more of my comprehensive reports. So even like the mail I sent to them, just a screenshot of this, I won this grant, this is the project, email exchanges, all those are the ways you can prove your evidence.
Wow,
For engineering,
awesome.
you just have to have done it. That's just it.
Mm.
If you have not done it, you now have to start thinking of how can I do it to show.
Mm.
That's just it. Then if
Yeah.
you know you want to also go through this route, start building your profile, build your portfolio, start writing all these things. Even if it's to have articles on your LinkedIn, please have articles. It will help you.
Mm. I think if you're just joining us, it's very important to note that Oduwa does not have a PhD. Okay, that is why. So the first thing was they came back to her asking her, "What? You don't have a PhD? Why should we endorse you?" And then she had to go and dig out all these evidences, because I can see some questions later that some questions are coming. I see Yemi is really thinking a lot, but so yeah, we've talked about how do you arrange your evidences. She's just touched on that. Will it be attached as part of the application? Yes. So for the review route that she went through, let me just clarify here, which is, we've talked about so many things. If you are just joining us, you have to go back and watch this video to understand where we're coming from. So you need 3 documents for the route that Oduwa went through, which is the peer review route. You need just your CV and a recommendation letter. Okay. The personal statement is part of the application. Go to my channel, you see a video about the entire application, which I just published 2 weeks ago. So that's how the application is. Now, when they came back to her, because I've also had, a client that we had to do that. So when they came back to her to say, you don't have a PhD, what is your equivalent experience? That was when she had to go and dig and dig and dig and dig to get endorsed. But the actual, if you want to go by the books, if you have a PhD and you can submit all the evidences, your recommendation letter and everything, you will just get endorsed. That was for people like us, to the glory of God. We had PhD. So we didn't have to do like her. We didn't have to go and dig.
Did you use peer review?
I use peer review as well. So mine was peer review
Really?
under Royal. Yes, I use peer review. The only reason why you had to do that, because I had a client we also did this with as well, was they came back to say, hello, you don't have a PhD. What do you have?
Yes.
You now have to do this. It's like writing a proper rebuttal to say, hello,
Yes.
this is what I have. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And like you, they came back and say, okay, under which category do you now want? Now that we have seen everything, because okay, I love this global talent visa surgery. It's so fun. This is the real thing. We are here to discuss. To be honest, you can't take away the place of, a coach and all of that. But,
Yes.
like her, she did an application herself. I did my application myself. What if you don't now have money to pay? Are you getting me? That's why we are here, to support each other and to help each other as much as possible. Okay, hi, Mata. Mata say I'm here. We see you, Mata. I think Mata says she's also a master's student doing engineering as well. Another question. Hi, Oduwa. Hi, Isi. How long did it take for Home Office to respond after you send your justification evidence?
Okay, so after I sent my justification evidence, it took about 4 weeks. So within 4-5 weeks, yes, 4-5 weeks. Within that time frame, they even called the person that recommended me. So take note. Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's the first time I'm hearing that.
Yes, you received an email. Yeah. So take note. And she never told me. It was after when I sent in my endorsement, they were like, oh, should I just keep it as a secret that she was contacted? Yeah, so they will. So you cannot just sit down. But it was only one person they contacted. They did not contact the other person. You understand? So anything can happen. Just try as much as possible, because what works for A might not work for B, but ensure you have everything. Don't leave any stone unturned. You see the way I almost choked today with evidences. When I was preparing my evidence, in fact, I got tired. I said, no, I'm tired. So, there's a professor in Nigeria I assisted after that. So when he was like, oh, the documentations, I sent him a link to all the evidence I sent. He was like, wow. That's just it. As much as possible, put it, choke them. Just choke them. You never can tell. Let them see that you have everything. So that's for that. What's the other question?
Awesome. I think they needed to know that. They needed to know that you could, you are what you said you were, especially that you didn't have that PhD, because they were judging you based on equivalent experience to research. So they had to go, wow. So hi, Mata.
That is the most difficult route. Peer review and not having a PhD is the most difficult route, but it is doable as long as you can provide your evidence. Like I tell people, you should be able to defend what you have. Like, for example, let me go back to when I was contacted for the school job I got as, they were like, send my right to work, HRO. I put my right to work and also put the conditions. I told them that based on this, my right to work, considering section this, that, because it falls under the skills shortage, I'm not ready for anybody to tell me no. When I know, I do not have a PhD, but I do my research. So the
Love it.
organization I work for now, we are like, I would say we have 95% PhD holders and
Wow.
80% professors. So I'm amongst the 5%. So what I do, I have always loved research. That is me, because I really wanted to bridge that gap between the industry and the academia, coming out of the university, not getting a job. So you see, most of the projects I did in Nigeria was bridging that gap. So you cannot tell me that I'm not a researcher. So I quoted it to them that based on this so and so place, even though I'm on this type of visa, because it's a skilled shortage role, I can go in for it. I was not ready for them to tell me yes or no. I've given them everything before. Next thing I saw my contract letter. So
I love it. Love it. No,
no.
but that's the thing with the UK and everything. You need to know. You
No.
need to know the information. I think,
Yes.
like you said, everything can work. And I think
Yes.
something we should all take away from this surgery is Oduwa's evidence. Everything was back in her home country. It wasn't in UK. Forget that now she's in UK. She only came to UK for masters and then branch went to global talent visa that she was never aware of, but every evidence she provided was in her home country. So don't think, oh, she's in the UK, it's easier for them. All right, Martha, thank you so much. That's the link shared. If you're just joining, we share the link where all the disciplines are so that you can start thinking about the global talent visa. Martha, thank you very much. And Yemi said thank you for the link. Okay, so Martha just finished her master's in engineering management. Yeah, she's just confirming what Oduwa said. They go to lecture every day. Also, yes. So this is a question from Nwankwo Patrick. He said, do you provide journals or articles among your application? If you did, how many did you provide?
Okay, thank you very much. Like I said, I had about 7 articles. I told you that before then, okay, maybe before you joined the session, I mentioned it. Before then, I didn't really have lots of articles. Maybe I had like 2. I had proceedings in conferences where I presented. But when I realized that I want to use the peer review route and I do not have a PhD, I started writing. I wrote 4 articles that last year. I wrote 4 and I published them. So you understand? You can start writing. You can start writing. So write. If it is what you do at the moment, Tony, most of us, we have our masters, most of us that did masters in the UK or even in Nigeria, that's our masters that we've done. You did a research. What do you do with it? Turn it into an article. Like today, I was fortunate to do a presentation for Ahmadu Tafawa Balewa University. They got a funding from the Royal Academy of Engineering, and they called me to come and speak on lab to market. I addressed the professors. I told them, I said, most of all these things we have in the lab, you need to start looking at how you will turn them into commercialized products. So that's what you do. So you see, even me, that I'm already a global talent leader, I'm here. I'm still doing webinars. I'm still being relevant. So please, even if it is online that you can do, even if it's any presentation, please do it. Whatever you have done. If tomorrow I can actually turn my today's presentation into a research article, that's good. Safe. I never had it as a plan. I didn't remember. I'm going to turn it into a research article because it took me time.
Doma, let's go.
To develop my papers, because I need to stay relevant. I need to stay relevant. Not that after you've gotten the visa, you just say that, oh, you've gotten it. What do you have to show? You never can tell what awaits you when you want to go for your ILR. What do you have to show? just got it and you relaxed. But when I show these my evidences that, oh, I've been presenting, even here, I am an institution in Nigeria that got a funding, they called me to come and speak. So that's what you do.
Wow, awesome. Hey, if you're just joining us, welcome on board. We're talking everything global talent visa, engineering pathway, and Oduwa. She has not come to play. She's choking us, just like she choked, the the Home Office and Royal Academy of Engineering with evidences. She's choking us here, and it's allowed because this is what global talent visa surgery is all about. So please like this video, share it, share, like. And if you're new here, subscribe to this channel because there's more global talent visa surgery coming, and our guests, they are always real with us. So the next question is from Onoma. He's asking, how did you get grants?
Okay, thank you very much. If you go to Google, as simple as Google now, go to Google and say grants grants for non-for-profit, grants for businesses, you would see it. It is, and I will say it's information. I was amongst the first set of people that got the Tonelumelu grant. In fact, my business, I started it with zero funding. From my end, grant. So just go to Google. It's as simple as that. Google is your friend. So I would not want to start telling you that, oh, do funds for NGO. Even if you want funding for maybe, because for the purpose of this global talent visa, you can even go through the list for eligible awards. There are so many. For eligible awards, there are so many. UKRI, there are a lot of grants there. Look at it and see how you can apply. So you can even be strategic. Do you know that if you can even get one of those grants, all these ones that you are telling them to endorse, you won't be there. With that, they will give you a global talent visa. With that you are able to get one of it is the Africa Prize, Royal Academy of Engineering. If you can get the Africa Prize. I am also, to the glory of God, I'm a technical reviewer for grant applications, even for the Royal Academy of Engineering. So we have different people. A lot of Africans apply, but I also feel sad about it that, like, even the last one we didn't really, the grants applications I reviewed, I didn't see any Nigerian. We need to wake up in that aspect. So you see, that's another thing we need to look at. Whatever you have is an innovative product, is an innovative idea. Apply for Africa Prize. With Africa Prize, it is one hand. Look at those UK ROI grants. You will see that for some, it's like a knowledge transfer. You need a partnership with bodies here. There are bodies that you can collaborate with here. If you're already here, you can collaborate with schools, your school. If you're in Nigeria, you can even reach out to partnering organizations. So that was what I did. I was in Nigeria when I started partnering with universities here. I never knew that one day it will even come to this global talent of a thing. So that's it.
Wow. So sorry if you're not a Nigerian, we're so sorry, Oduwa is so passionate about Nigeria. We're all passionate about
Sorry.
But yeah, it's very important. No, but that's it. Home, home is where the heart is. Hi, Mata is just saying very real. Yes, Oduwa has been real. Thank you so much, Andrew. We've interviewed Andrew before on our Immigrant Voices and Victories. Andrew is a digital technology global talent visa recipient. We've got his interview on our channel. And then, so Mohammed said, please, can you clarify more on the projects you mentioned? Are they practical projects or written papers, ma?
Practical projects. And from those practical projects, I generated articles that I published.
Okay. Yeah, so Yemi, I think we've cleared this up. I thought all the evidences would be attached in a Word document, including the cover letter, personal statement, CV letters, the evidence, all in one file, or will they be uploaded separately? Yemi, I'm sure we've clarified this. So if you're just joining us, so Oduwa talked about all the evidences. Go and watch my video on Route 4. I've got a video there. I'll share the link here shortly. You can see everything there. But the only reason why Oduwa had to go that route was because they came back and said to her, hello, you don't have a PhD. Tell us what you have. And that is where you now go. She went down the route of choking. Glory.
Yeah. And funny enough, I didn't even wait for them to send me that email. I actually had it beforehand. Like what I mentioned, I looked at other routes. I'm like, these people, they have different, as in, like for arts, for digital tech, they tell you these articles, you need this, you need. I used that to prepare. So it was really, really easy for me to give it back to them when they asked.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, so Yemi, he confirmed that he's had clarity on that. EC said, great job, Oduwa. Thank you so much. Yeah, she's been real. Thank you. So Nuruddin said, I have a company back in Nigeria that deals with machine fabrication and maintenance, which involve with some companies and educational institute. How can I use this as an evidence? You're talking to the right person.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, you are like me because you're an entrepreneur in the engineering space. You have a business. What you do is fabrication and maintenance. Before you would have gone ahead to fabricate, you have done your design. Before you do your design, you have done your feasibility studies on why this particular machine is needed and how to maintain it. You have gotten an article from that. That is an article you have gotten. What you need to do is present yourself as a researcher. You understand? Me, I'm the head of research and development in my organization. So, so that is what you are. That is what you are. So you are the head of research and development. So what you people do, you carry out research on how to develop these machines, fabricate them and maintain them. That is your evidence. You have pictures. If you have a website, you can even put your website. If you have your recommendation letters, can even come from these educational institutes you collaborate with. If you have not gone further, try to organize like workshops. Show the educational institute, even if it's just to do like a presentation for them. Those are the evidences you need. So if you want to go further, this one is small thing. You are good to go.
Glory. All right. So Martha, I am on PSW visa with 1 year left. Did my project in waste management. I recently submitted a manuscript publication. I want to use exceptional promise. What's your advice, Ma?
Okay, thank you very much, Martha. So you need to use the next 1 year to do a lot of things. One, you need to thank God you have a manuscript publication. Try to organize workshops. You understand? Try to organize workshops and try. I don't know if you had experience before when you came to do your master's, because that experience is really is valuable. So let us see evidences, even if it is pictures, what you have done in the past. Let us see how you've been able to turn waste. What are the new products? Like for me, I told you that I also have a business is turning automotive waste into useful purpose. What have I done with it? We turn tires into furniture. You understand? As simple as that. And what do? I also train people. I've been able to position that business as if, I'm trying to help the community. Those in the suburb, rural, that they don't have anything doing, I'm trying to reduce poverty. I'm giving them skills. So I was able to turn that. That was one of my evidences that I included as a project that I've done. So you can actually put yourself, use that. So I don't know what you are doing at the moment. If you are working with an organization, even the organization you are working with, you can get somebody there to recommend you. If it is related to waste management, you can get them to recommend you. That's fine. So for that, your recommendation, you have it. That your CV, make it strong. Make sure in your CV, you have your articles. I put links to all my articles in my CV. I put them there. So put your articles, let it be there. Try to do some proceedings. Conferences, you can actually get that, put it in. Like I was talking, I said I've identified some workshops I want to attend next year, just for myself, because I need that networking. You need it. You need to network with the right set of people in this country. So look at waste management workshops that you can attend. Even through the waste management workshops, you can build relationship, get people that would endorse you.
Wow, awesome, awesome. So yeah, so Oduwa has said it all matter. You have the next 6 months. Like Oduwa said earlier, set your new year goals. So we're expecting good news from you in the next 6 months. Come and tell us, come and be on this surgery and tell us how you worked so hard. Thank you so much. Anything can happen, Mata is just reiterating what Oduwa has said. She's finished her master's last year, and it's difficult, yes, it's difficult, but it's doable. That's what Oduwa said. Oduwa it all 2024, or Oduwa Global Talent Surgery 2024. It is difficult, but it's doable. If you have just masters without a PhD, it's difficult, but it's doable. So Martha again is asking, can you recommend journalists that can publish the articles in good time and affordable?
Yes, but because like I did my own publication in, I can't except if I check, except if I check, but I have my articles in ResearchGate. You can actually see these people. There are a lot. So maybe after now, I'll share it with Dr. Yems, the exact journals that I used. Unless if we still have time, I can check my
So we
CVs
will go and
preparation.
Martha, go and connect with Oduwa on LinkedIn,
Yes,
connect
I
with me
can
as
send it
well.
to you.
Yes, we will send
Mm,
it to you so that we can accommodate more
yes,
questions,
please.
because there's lots
And
of
it didn't even take
questions.
them time to publish. It didn't take them, it was about 2 weeks. We pay for it. It was about two
Yeah,
weeks. I think when I paid £30 or £75, I paid little amount of money. But I got what I needed. They reviewed it and I had it out there. So that's just it.
awesome. If you are just joining us, please like this video, share it, share it. We are talking everything global talent visa engineering. So this is from Abdul Kadri Adetunji. Said, hi, what's your advice for a PMO leader in the telecommunications industry, both with current and PMP certification without masters or PhD? I like the way she's doing, because she has all these certification.
Okay, so what's the advice for a PMO leader? So presently, I'm a technical project manager in the semiconductor industry. So which is doable for you, because even the most of the products we come up with, it's for the telecommunications. So you fall in line. Telecommunications is under the list, which we read out. Even Dr. James sent us the link, so you can actually see telecommunications there. So with both current and PMP, so that one is just to add, not that it will, it's just that you add all these things to it. What we are saying is, what is your evidence? What
Mm,
have you done? What is your experience? You understand? So if you have experience to show, then you can use it. You don't necessarily even need to have masters. As long as you have experience, like I mentioned, I said, if probably I had even known about the global talent route, maybe that's what I would have used. I would not have even done a master's, but thank God I did master's. You cannot take it away from me. You cannot take it away from having a UK master's degree. That is just my own. That is just my own. But it is doable without a master's, without a PhD. All what you need is to show your evidence of what you have been doing as a project manager, a project manager or a management officer in the telecommunications industry. Where are those projects? Do you have a report on them? All those projects you have done, have there been any articles that have been publicized based on the projects you have done? Can you show the evidence? The monetary aspect of it. So there are a lot of things you can even show, even if you cannot show the monetary aspect. You can show one or two things, and your recommendation letter, the organization should be ready to say that you have participated in this activity. You understand? This is how you contributed. So with that, you are good to go.
yeah, something else I will also suggest to Abdul Kadri. If you go and watch our episode 2 Global Talent Visa Surgery, we had Busayo Ajala here. He talked about, KTP. That's another global talent
Yes.
visa under the
Mm.
UKRI, where with that, there are loads of, if you go to, I'll try to post the link here, you will see KTP vacancies. There are lots of project manager. We're going to be interviewed by God's grace, Lillian. She got a global talent visa as a project manager. How did she do that? It was one of these KTP projects. She also didn't have a PhD. She also, so those KTP projects, they are, grants funded by UKRI just for global talent visa. They are mostly collaborations between, partners, different partners. So it's called knowledge transferable partnerships. That's what KTP is. So if you go to the KTP website, you will see different jobs as well that are available for you. So if you're here, like she said, what if you don't have evidence, Abby? So, you can go the KTP route because your skills will be able to help you there. All right. So
sorry, let me add to it. So www.jobs.ac.uk. So that's where you will see a lot of them. Then you can also check the UK ROI website. So you will see a lot of these KTPs, a lot. So just look for organizations you can partner with. You on your, you can even write this funding for your organization.
Wow. All right. So Martha is just asking, the African prize, is it eligible to those who are in the UK or those residing in Africa?
Those residing in Africa.
Yes.
Business venture should be in
That
Africa.
is why. So if you are in Africa, please go and find that, African prize. We need more people to get, to get that grant. We will give you tips here.
Yes, and beyond that, even on the Royal Academy website, there are a lot of funding opportunities. There are a lot you can even do to get firsthand. You don't even need to even go through the endorsement route. So the Royal Academy of Engineering website should be your friend. There is a section for programs and prizes, because I also looked at it. I would have said, okay, let me just write one of these funding, because at that time, funny enough, at that time when I was applying, I had 2 live funding applications.
Wow.
2 projects that the Royal Academy, they were funding, but none of them were qualified. And if you look at the criteria for those with prizes, they will tell you that it has to be at least £30,000 and for 2 years. That's the criteria of the kind of awards. I had 2 projects. One was for £30,000 and one was for £100,000, but they did not qualify. So what does that mean? You need to be strategic to know the one that you need for a global talent visa. You know me, that was not my focus then. So otherwise, probably I would have looked for one of the funding that would have led to me going through that route.
Yeah, I just hope you're learning a lot of, strategies from Oduwa, how she went about all these things. This video is one video you should watch again and again, and you should be taking notes because she's just been real with us. And yes, that's what EC is confirming, wow. He's saying they called you eminent person, classic home office behavior. Yes, this country is all about evidence. Did they actually know you? And that's why, people don't just give people evidence, recommendation letters, because they want to be sure that, they know who you are for them to be able to recommend you. So make sure that your recommender or actually does know who you are and does know your work. If you watch my video about peer review, you will see there's a link there that all of these other sites have given us more information about what an eminent person should be. Wow. EC is just spot on.
Like for my own, that's why I always emphasize your network. Because one of the persons that endorsed me is actually a vice president of one of the highest engineering bodies, not just in the UK. You understand? Globally, the organization is in a lot of countries. So it was kind of, how? You understand? But that how is when you network with the right set of people, you'll be able to reach out to them. So be strategic. When you go for workshops, don't just stay in one corner to sit down. Reach out to the people. Tell them what you do so that it will enter their ear. So that after that, when you start keeping in touch through link, they will remember that, oh, this person, you cannot turn it into a recommendation later in the future.
Glory. Turn your connection to recommendation. Oh, you need to write that down. Turn your turn it. Yes, this is actually the most interesting, surgery you have watched. Yes, it's even me. I wish I have not applied for global talent visa. I would have sat down with this video and just script my, my global talent visa. Yes, she's very realistic, and yes, we can not be grateful enough. Kukoyi Baba Femi, I know that name. That's a family friend of mine. Yes, spot on. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, so we've got Mohammed Nasiri here. Please, is it okay if your CV is more than 2 pages? Do you have to reference your journal papers on your CV or write the titles? How was your journals assessed by the assessors?
Okay, so thank you very much. I think the criteria is your CV should be, is it 2 to 3 pages?
Yes, not more than 2.5 pages, kind of.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So try to wait with your CV. Please be strategic. Know the kind of information you put in. That's it. Know the kind of information you put in. Do you have to reference your journals? Yes. Even if you are even doing any research in school, you are doing an article, you have to do the referencing in a way that it can be, how will I speak this English? It can be confirmed, or somebody can reach out to the paper. So you put the author's name, you put the year, you put the title of the book or the article. So with that, it depends on if you are using the Harvard style or you want to use Chicago, any style you are using. So when you do that referencing, that's what referencing implies. If you even use that one, you don't put www.that, it is fine. So with that, they can actually get your article. So that's what you do. How was your journals assessed by the assessors? I forwarded my journal to them, my articles to them. So they read through it. They gave me, I paid for them to do that. So for even one of the articles, they got back to me. They needed more information. So which I did for one of my articles, which I did, and they passed my paper.
I'm hoping that Mohammed, you're not talking about her journals. You're not talking about global talent visa assessors. Let's just be clear, the assessors you're talking about, because yes. So are you talking about global talent visa assessors, or you're talking about normal journal reviewers? Or is important we clear that. And if you're talking about global talent visa assessors on the journals, whatever you provide is what you provide.
Yes.
You can't know what they will as long as just put as much as information. What I always advise people for the CV, once you have the DOI there, you don't have to write your name, because all these things, especially if you have a lot of journals, it takes space. It does take space. So, if you write the DOI in there, something that once they put it on Google, it will just appear. Yes, I think that should help. And yeah, this has been a very wonderful. I think we're now targeting 8:30 to finish. Yeah, so yeah, Mata, I think Mata is our master student on here today. She sent you a connection already on LinkedIn, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful global talent visa surgery. So please like this video, and if you are new here, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, because YouTube will be able to recommend this video to more people to watch, so that people can just be knowledgeable. Like I said, this is what global talent visa surgery is all about. It's for us to help each other, give each other the information that we need. Some people are very busy, they don't have time, they contact coaches, to do all these things for them. But what if you cannot even afford it? All you have is your evidence and yourself and God. You will have to sit down and choke them. Like Oduwa said, this has been a wonderful, wonderful global talent visa surgery. And yeah, like EC like rightly said, this was wonderful. She was spot on, she was realistic. And thank you so much, Oduwa. Do we have any other questions as we begin to close down? So if you have more questions about the global talent visa and all of that, I have made a whole playlist on my global talent on my YouTube channel. It's called the Global Talent Visa series. You will have a lot of information there. Don't just watch the video. Under the video, there are lots of links, just like we've shared here. All the information you need is online. And the Bible of the Global Talent Visa Surgery is the guideline. Everything you need, everything, Oduwa talked about, she structured her own checklist. She used the criteria to structure her checklist. So it's been a wonderful, if there are no any other questions, I just want to say, wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Oduwa. So if you're out there, Global Talent Visa, if you don't have a PhD, it is doable. It might be difficult, but what? It is doable. It is doable. Onoa said she said it all. Yes, she has said it all. She's realistic. So if you are doing your master's in the UK, there's so much in this video. If you are anywhere at all in the global, in the world, Mohammed is just responding saying, yeah, sorry, he was referring to Global Talent Visa Journal Assessors. Yeah, so you are still talking about the reviewers. We can hardly know how they check our journals, to be honest. Your reviewer is your reviewer. So usually when someone receives, say, a rejection now, they send it to a different reviewer to go through everything again. So I could imagine, the step with the peer review stage, if you watch my video, is as soon as Home Office receive the application, they will recommend it to the Royal Society. I'm sorry. Yeah, for me, Royal Society, for you, Royal Academy of Engineering. Now, there's a team. Before it gets sent to the reviewers, there's a team that ticks those boxes. And immediately they did not see her having a PhD. They say, hello, you don't have a PhD. You did not meet the criteria. Then she, choked them. She started the choking stages. Reply them. And then, like she said, she had all these evidences already. It's all about you. The Global Talent Visa is all about you. So go and watch those videos. Only 2 people out of all of you watching this live, only 2 people have liked it. God knows the number of your house. So please like this video. So it can be recommended, so that the more you like, the video, the more it gets recommended. So Ma, please, can we get your final words as we begin to round up? Thank you so much to everyone that has joined. We are so, so, so grateful. So many people are already sending you requests on LinkedIn already. I can see, so many people are sending you LinkedIn requests already. Yemi said all my questions were answered. Thank you so much. Thank you too. My application and it's ready for review. Engineer, can you, he said, please, can you help us to review? I love this kind of person. Like, I beg, come and help me to read it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So send me I'll drop my email. Send me an email, and then my own email is public, and I'm sure her email is not something she might want public at this point. So
no, he can also actually send it. I have a
on
website
LinkedIn.
that's even public. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, www.oduwaagboneni.com. So even there, because I support people that want to be good project managers, that are working towards getting grant applications, because I talked about my partnership with the university.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm going to share her website here shortly. I have it in that email actually. Oh, sorry. I will try to find it out while you give your final words to us.
So I want to say that it starts with a mindset shift. If you want to have a global talent visa, it starts with a mindset shift. You should be ready to look at it is doable. Whatever the criteria, be it peer review, it is doable. You can actually get the evidences. If you've not gotten it, just give yourself a target. Most especially, make it your New Year resolution. Make it one of your 2025 goals, that this is what I want. Because if you look at the beautiful things that comes with global talent, the peace of mind, the peace of mind it gives to you, it cannot be taken away. So you can work towards it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, ma. We are so grateful. Everyone is asking of your LinkedIn page. I'm going to share her website
Mm,
shortly and I'll pin it to the video because once
mm,
we go off, the video will still be there. So I'll pin her website to it. I can't just figure
mm,
it out at the moment. Her name is Oduwa. You'll find her. You see the flyer has her full name. That's her full name on LinkedIn. She also
mm.
supports
Yeah.
people for all project manager and all of that and all of that. So I'm going to share her website shortly on here. And Ma, if you have a minute, you can just type it here because I can't seem to, it should be in that email. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful global talent visa surgery. What a way to end the year, with
Even
this
through Instagram,
wonderful.
send me a message via Instagram, but not Twitter.
Yes.
Everything is Oduwa Agboneni, Oduwa
All
Agboneni.
right. Yeah, we are live on Instagram at the moment. After this live,
Yeah, that's
I'll tag the business
Instagram.
um on Instagram, so you would
Yeah,
also see this video on your feed as well. You should have done
that's
that. But yeah, so thank you so much. Our guest on Facebook, on Instagram. There are so many people on Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The website is going to be posted shortly. Ma, can you find the link? Have you sent it? Sorry, I'll just
yes, it's on the chat.
okay. I'll find it now. Sorry, you
Yes, I
sent it to
put
me
it there.
privately. I'll copy it and put it here.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
the general. Okay, let
It's
me.
okay. Yeah, I've just posted it now. So yeah, that's the website. You can see her website right there, and also her Instagram name. You will find her Odua. The same name she uses on Instagram is the same way. Sorry,
On
is the same
LinkedIn.
name she uses on LinkedIn as well. So you can connect with her. And yeah, it's been a wonder. The engineers didn't come to play. Oh, the engineers didn't come to play at all, at all. This is, this is her Instagram name as well. You can find her on Instagram. It's been such a wonderful session. Please like this video, share this video. And I am your host, Yemisi Adedeji on Global Talent Visa Surgery. This has been a wonderful one. We're hoping to have one last one for the year, maybe on the 27th. This was supposed to be our last one, but one of our guests that will not be available next year might, be available towards the end of the year. So we'll see how it goes. But till then, stay connected, get more information. It starts with a mindset shift. That is what Odu has said. And make it, part of your New Year resolution that you're going to apply for Global Talent Visa. And once you get your Global Talent Visa, please let us know. Connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Connect with, Madam Odua. She's everywhere. Please let us know your story. And thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until we see you again, God bless you. No
Thank
limits. Thank you
you.
very much, madam. We are so grateful. Thank you, ma. Thank you for being
You're
real.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. All right, then. Bye,
See you.
everyone. Bye for now. God
Bye.
bless. Thank you. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, everyone.